Hello guys, it's Pipi. A few weeks ago I decided to switch from my trusted Model O- to the Razer Viper Ultimate, as I really wanted to try a wireless mouse. In this video I'll give you my opinion of the Viper as well as the Lexip ceramic mouse feet. If you want to skip straight ahead to the Lexip review, I'll put a timestamp in the corner of the video. To give you some background info, I've used a cheap Dell mouse for around 3 years, a G402 for around 2 years, a slightly modded G403 for around a year, and a Model O- for like 9 to 10 months. I'm a mixed fingertip and claw gripper and my hands are 19.5 by 10 centimeters. I found the G502 too heavy, the G403 too big for both claw and fingertip, and the Model O great for fingertip, too small for claw, although I mainly switched because I wanted to go wireless. The packaging is really nice. The mouse also came with a charging dock, which I really like. It has a sort of sticky adhesive on the bottom, so it sticks really well to the table. It's also magnetic, so the mouse easily sits in the right place. The battery life of the Viper Ultimate is also really good, at around 70 hours. Going over the mouse, it's around 127mm in length, 66 in width and 38 in height, which is ideal for my hand dimensions according to Rocket Jump Ninja. If your hands are bigger than mine, you could probably still claw or fingertip this mouse fine. I can still palm this mouse, although the hump is quite low. If you're a palm gripper, you're better off with a different mouse, or just switching your grip entirely. I think fingertippers would like this mouse the most. I weighed it at a little bit over 74 grams without the USB adapter cover, which is quite a bit heavier than my Model O-, but is still very light for a wireless mouse. I personally would have liked it if it was even lighter, but I think most people wouldn't care too much. It has optical switches, so it shouldn't get the double click issue a lot of Logitech and Razer mice got. The clicks also sound quite different to traditional switches. Here's a sound test. The clicks on my Model O- feel a bit better, although the clicks on the Viper aren't too bad. The sides have a nice rubbery texture which feels really good and premium. It's an ambidextrous mouse, so left-handed people can also use this mouse. The only thing that bothered me at the start are the side buttons on the right side, as I kept accidentally clicking them. You can disable them in the software though, so it shouldn't be a very big problem. I already slightly changed up my grip so I wouldn't press them in all the time. To make this less of a problem, Razer made the side buttons not stick out, which kind of sucks as they're harder to use on the left side too. Logitech's solution with the G Pro wireless is way better, where you can take off the buttons you don't use. The scroll wheel is very textured and has very defined steps, I like it. It also has a top-notch sensor, lowest latency of any wireless mouse, side buttons feel nice and the glide is very good thanks to PTFE feet. I saw these Lexip ceramic feet online, and I was really curious to see if they would be better than the stock PTFE feet on the Viper, so I went ahead and bought them. Installation wasn't too hard. I made sure to be careful taking off the stock feet, so I had the option to put them back on in case I didn't like the Lexips. They cost me 13 euros, which is around $15, so it's a bit more expensive than normal PTFE feet. First of all, when moving the mouse they are extremely silent. Here's a quick sound test. It's hard to explain how they exactly feel, but they feel extremely smooth, but quite slow at the same time. I also noticed the mouse sticking way more to the pad, as its static friction is way higher. This was completely different than I expected, as from what I've heard, these feet make the mouse glide like it's on ice, and you barely have any control. I tested this on my Fnatic Dash, MP510, QCK and bone pads, but the feet always felt a lot slower than my Model O- with G-skates. So I was quite disappointed. I didn't really like the feel in game either. I then did some tests without the mousepad using my wooden table. This was a very different experience as they suddenly felt extremely smooth and fast. Using PTFE feet without a mousepad felt almost painful as it was really scratchy and noisy. I've never used a hard pad, but I guess Lexip feet would work really well on those, although you have to watch out you're not damaging your hard pad, as ceramic is a really hard material. The upside to this is that those feet don't wear down, while you would have to replace your PTFE feet regularly when using a hard mouse pad. I also tested ceramics on a Lenovo laptop, which is some sort of plastic I believe. The glide on that thing is insane. Anyway, I'm using soft mouse pads, so I put the stock feet back on my Viper. They feel really good. I've put the Lexip feet on my Logitech Marathon mouse, which I only use for traveling. The Lexip feet are still a lot better than the stock feet on this mouse, and when using it on a hard surface, the ceramic feet are better in every way. So my conclusion, if you're using a soft pad, you're most likely better off getting a good pair of PTFE feet. Whether they are core pads, hyperglides, tiger arcs, or the stock feet if they're 100% PTFE. If you're using a hard pad or just your table, the Lexips might be worth looking into. I wouldn't recommend them for a glass surface, as ceramic will probably damage the glass and it didn't glide well for me when trying them on a glass table. If you watched this all the way to the end, you're an absolute beast. Thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe to see more. I also started streaming on Twitch and I still have 0 followers. You can chat with me there if you want. Can we hit 10 likes on this video? That would be amazing. I'll be reviewing those bone mousepads soon, so look out for that. See you next time.